Hey all, this is 102 Boku. Finally coming back to you. I finally found a way on my little brother's new computer to do movie reviews again, and I'm probably still gonna ask for it for Christmas or something, but I'm gonna ask for a webcam microphone because I do have a way of using my own camera, which I could actually set up around here within my household and around the back of my new desk here, because that's what I'm using right now to talk to you guys. Oh man, that is going to be weird. I'm creating a shadow thing and creating my camera to do weird shadow movements, so I apologize about that. But I have this camera that I would like to use, and I need a microphone for it. Otherwise, it didn't let me use what I have there. Let's see. Can I hold this down? I guess I can. I don't mind having it down a little more and giving you guys a little bit more of the subspace, but let's see here. Yeah, once again, sorry that I've been gone for a long time. I do apologize. I know it's been like close to almost a year, I think, since I uploaded. Actually, check really quick. I got it here on YouTube page. Let's see here. Thought I had it still up. I guess I exited out. Let's see. Because I know, once again, this ain't nothing too cool to be listening to me rambling on for all my 6 people or whoever listens to this channel. But, oh yeah, almost a year, 9 months since my last video. 9 months. I can't believe that. But I am back, and I'm glad to be back, and glad to be here with you guys and enjoying this, because I do miss doing the movie reviews along with my writing, and I'm going to continue the Bond films where I left off and stuff like that. I know I mentioned a long time ago I did want to do TV episodes and things like that, and you know what? I will do them when we have time and when we do certain things, and I think when I do those, maybe what we'll do is we'll do an episode, record that episode really quick, give you like a quick maybe like 15 to 20 minute thing on it, and then go back to the next one and maybe do it when I have the time or something like that. Where movies, we'll do what we've done here and just do an in-depth review on the movie. But we are continuing the Bond series for the franchise of my action films. I've also re-updated the way I view my films now. Basically what I do is I have family films, comedy films, action, adventure, drama, war, horror and suspense, and there's science fiction. That's how I do my stuff now. It's categorized in that way. Now, some of the stuff, when you see it, it may not be exactly how you guys would like it, or maybe it would be. I mean, I have no idea. I guess it would just pertain to however you guys want it to be or whatnot. But like, from what I have for you is this today. Yep, where are those moonlight dreams that keep us inside? Just 'cause the Moonraker knows his dreams will come true someday. I search for love that are only a kiss away. My God, I've just realized too, having my windows open in my house and stuff really helps with the old glare, because my God, if you guys remember when I sat here beforehand, man, the old glare that we used to have was terrible. This is actually not that bad right now, so, that is very pleasing to me, because I know I still did that a bit for you guys, but I mean, if I kept it like right here in the center, glare ain't too bad. Yeah, there is some glare, but you can still see it, and I love that. So yeah, Moonraker, the next installment into the James Bond series, or if you want to do it from the booklet, booklet one right there. Which, believe me, I miss movies with booklets. I wish they still did that more, but obviously the save paper, because that's what they knew nowadays. I mean, movies are still fun, but I'll tell you what, when you collect them now, the collections are not as fun as they used to be in many, many ways, and it really is sad in my opinion. But anyway, we could probably discuss that in a discussion thing if you want one of these days. Let's see here. So Moonraker is the geez, I was see if it mentions it in here. Because I know that let's see, no, they don't they do not mention it, it looks like, but they do not mention it, sadly. Pudge Pudge. Well, I know we're pretty high up there in the Bond film universe, and I forgot to tell you guys, I now own all the Bond films as well on a side thing here. I now own all the Bond films that I have not gotten yet. I think I may have told you that. Maybe I did tell you that in the other parts too, but I don't know if I was there yet because I know it was. I think it was this year or the end of last year. Since it's been 9 months since I last uploaded, where I got the rest of the Bond films, and it is sweet and awesome having all the original collection. Tell you that, thumbs up. But with Moonraker here, Moonraker there, this one once again is with Roger Moore in his or wait no. 1, 2, Live and Let Die, Man with the Golden Gun, Spy with Me. Oh, his fourth James Bond picture. So his fourth picture, this is, and this one, it was supposed to be, if you guys remember, if you've seen the end credits for The Spy Who Loved Me, it was supposed to be For Your Eyes Only, which is the next one after this, but they went with Moonraker because they wanted something more even science fiction-y than sometimes how the James Bond films, 007 films, can already be. And Albert R. Broccoli saw the success in 1977 of Star Wars, so they went with this. I'm not going to say Moonraker is a bad movie. It is not a bad movie. It is fun. It is great in its own way, and it's cool. But, oh man, what can I say? I know a lot of people say that, Roger Moore's Bond films are camp, and yes, he did have more comedy. He did play Bond a bit more comedic and have a bit more slapstick with Bond. That is true. But after seeing all of Moore's films, I have to say that this is the campiest of all because, Moonraker's got a high bit of comedy, and it was directed by, I think, directed by You Only Live Twice and The Spy Who Loved Me alum Lewis Gilbert. So this was Lewis Gilbert's third film after he did the Spy Who Loved Me in 76. So Lewis Gilbert did this one, and he really ramped up the camp. And then it's ridiculous outer space stuff. There is a space fight with astronauts between Hugo Drax's men and men of the United States government army, and and it is ridiculous. I mean, the models in this movie are cool. I love the model work, and I believe it was done by production designer and model work and stuff created by Ken Adam and Derek Meddings, both two Bond alums. And what can I say? That the model work is good, but man, the special effects in this film are absolutely ridiculous at times. I mean, just ridiculous. But let's see, what can we say here? And obviously, like I said, this film stars Roger Moore as James Bond. Roger Moore really got into the character. He was really enjoying it. I think he says that Moonraker was the most ambitious film he was a part of during the whole series of films, because I know, like, he mentions in The Spider Love Me how that was the one that they were in trouble, but it was the one that was more on the epic scale, where Moonraker is ambitious, big, wide, vast, but it's, in my opinion, it is still a ridiculous film. But it's a fun film, you know. Roger Moore does his great work. He's entertaining. He's fun. A lot of good comedy bits. Jaws returns in this one. Has a lot of good moments with Jaws. It's very camp what Roger Moore does in this one. Very camp is compared to the other films. And once again, I disagreed with what Lewis Gilbert said in the other Bond films. If you guys, well, what he said in the special features of The Spy Who Loved Me. If you guys remember what I put, because I know I said it in that old video, he says that, you know, oh, they're trying to make, you know, more into Connery. And I'm like, I don't think that's what Guy Hamilton and crew were doing at all. But, you know, shrug my shoulders again. But, you know, hey, Lewis Gilbert is entitled to his opinion, as are we all. Just like how I know a lot of people don't like Roger Moore, but I do think the guy was great. Fun films, fun stuff, so can't go bad on any of that type of endeavors. And hopefully this is not messing up my recording. I noticed my recording is like pausing a bit, so I'm hoping this isn't causing trouble at all with you guys. So I apologize if it's doing what the old videos used to do. I'm hoping if I get my actual camera up and going, that will become a thing of the past, because I really hated how my videos paused, and then I'd be seconds behind, if not weird, if you guys remember. But, you know, I still power through it, and obviously some of you still watch my videos, so thumbs up. Oh, boy. Lois Chiles as Holly Goodhead. Lois Chiles as Holly Goodhead. Oh, my God. She seems to be a very good person. Very nice person. They said she's a pretty good actress. I believe what they say in the special features. And, you know, she was very attractive. Let me see if I can get a picture of, let's see, Holly Goodhead here. I'm wondering if we can. Probably not the best one to use, but, Holly Goodhead is, yeah, right there. That's her right there. So, you know, good-looking person, you know, nice, attractive, you know, probably not a bad choice for this film. But I don't know if they wanted Lois Chiles to act this way, or if this is just how she did the character, but she was very flat this entire movie. Very flat. Like, boy, what can I say? Hold on, I'll give you guys a demonstration. Towards the end of the film, when they're chasing down these spores that Hugo Drax is going to kill the Earth with to make his perfect race. And I guess, and also, Holly Goodhead was also a person who was undercover with Drax, because I guess she was a part of the British government too, trying to track down what happened to their planes. But then, as you know, that's a different thing. You okay there, Hawk? Do you need to go out? There's always a... Sorry, as you saw in the background there, my dog was there. Hawk, did you need to go out? One sec, guys. One sec. Gotta let my dog out. And as far as I know, Windows Movie Maker still doesn't have a pause. They should. At least I think this is Windows Movie Maker. I don't know where I downloaded this from, but I tried it again because I really miss making videos for you guys. So in a desperate thing, I got what I think is Windows Movie Maker 9 or 10, one of the two. But yeah, This is a demonstration of Holly Goodhead, Lois Chiles. Sorry, Lois Chiles, not meaning to insult, but yes. James, the bombs, the plant bombs, they're reaching the Earth's atmosphere. Oh no, well, we got there in time. I'll have to try to do that. James, you're so sexy. How are we going to get out of this mess, James? Not kidding. If you guys see Moonraker, that's how she is. Now, you may think she isn't that bad. For some of you who've seen it, you may think she's not that bad. But, oh, man. Oh, man, Lois Chiles. Oh, my God. Oh, I thought it was bad. I think she's the worst in the series. Not Lois Chiles herself, but Holly Goodhead as a character, I think is the worst character in the series. Oh my god. Like I said too, Jill St. John is sort of on that same high list now, because now that I've seen Diamonds Are Forever, it's like Jill St. John's was okay, but nowhere near as good as some of the other Bond girls to come before and after, of course. Another good villain, Drax, played by Michael Lonsdale, who was a Frenchman who was cast as the role of Drax, and he is an entrepreneur who is very rich, another one of the rich men who own these companies, who wants to create a perfect race of man in space and then repopulate the Earth when the Earth has been destroyed by his plant bombs that he's made. That is a ancient plant that if a gas is released from the plant, the gas I believe at the beginning of the movie, you have Drax steal a rocket from either America or Britain. I forget which one of the two countries, but they steal a space rocket and from a plane. So yeah, it was a British plane, I think, carrying an American rocket, and Drax's men steal the rocket from the plane, thus killing everyone on the plane and stealing the rocket for their own personal use for when they want to go off into space. So that's how it starts. Is Drax. Hugo Drax is his full name. And if for any of you who may know my thing, like if I put anything up, I tell you some of my stuff is Hugo Drax from what I told stopping his plans of destroying all life on Earth. Well, all humans on Earth, I should say, not all life, but all humans on Earth, and having him repopulate the planet with his perfect human species. Because he gets, like in a Noah's Ark, he gets a man and a woman together for each person. And I think he has like several hundred people. And he gets a man and a woman together, and they're perfect to all his specifications, to which he It says these people will repopulate the planet to what they need us to do. And, so Drax is pretty mad, but, Michael Lonsdale plays it really well. And there's a part, too, where in the movie where Jaws is being told to get rid of Bond and Holly Goodhead, and he has a little girl of himself. She's like a sweet girl when they were in Holland, fighting each other, Bond and Drax, and this girl in Holland saved Jaws when Jaws fell from the cable cars in the film and crashed into the waiting observatory. And this girl helps him out, and he likes this girl. This girl's like a sweet little school nerdy girl, and Bond says, I bet I have to like get Jaws to join their side, because of the girl he brought with him. He's like, so Drax, I take it anyone who doesn't formulate with your ideas a perfect person will be expelled. And Drax is like, oh, absolutely. If they're not perfect, they cannot be a part of my society. And then Bond uses that to pour doubt into Jaws. And then Jaws, when Drax tells Jaws to basically expel Holly Goodhead and James Bond from the ship, he's like, Jaws, expel them. Jaws just stands there. Jaws, expel them. Expel them. Expel them! Like, he really brings it out. And, like, Michael Lonsdale, he's really good at that. And, I mean, I give Michael Lonsdale credit for making that character great, in my opinion. Gonna go get my dog for a moment because he's probably more than likely at the door. But the next one will be, once again, Richard Kiel returning as Jaws. Ready, bud? Come on. And Richard Kiel plays Jaws, like I said. They got him to return. For anyone who watched, who knows the films or watched my first review of The Spy Who Loved Me, and the reason Louis Gilbert and Albert R. Broccoli brought him back was because kids were saying after The Spy Who Loved Me, they're like, why did Jaws have to be a bad guy? They wanted him to be, a good guy. So when he turns on, like I was telling you, when he turns on Drax because he doesn't want to lose the girl he likes, they use that as where Jaws helps out James Bond and Holly Goodhead to, have him become a good guy. And Richard Kiel as Jaws in this one has a lot more comedic parts, comedic areas. There's a lot more comedic fights between him and Bond. There's a part where, like, both he and where James Bond in the beginning is taking down this other villain on this plane. Jaws has been hired as like an adversary, and they're both like free falling from the plane. And as they're free falling, Bond and Jaws are fighting. Bond actually outwits Jaws, pulls his parachute to get away from him. Jaws tries to do the same thing. He pulls his parachute. His parachute turned out to be a dud. The chute didn't open, and Jaws tumbles into a circus top in the middle of a circus event at the beginning of the movie, where they show the background of Moonraker with Shirley Bassey beginning to see, where there's clowns, balloons, and everything falling everywhere. So, that part was hilarious. They actually go for a hiring of, because Hugo Drax's main henchman gets killed by Bond, and Hugo Drax calls in a headquarters where they call for like the best henchman in the world, and he's like, oh, he's available. Well, we better get him. And then they show Jaws at an airport where like he walks through the metal detector area, and guard tries to look him over. Jaws shines his teeth like that at the guard, and the guard backs off. So, there's a lot of funny moments with Jaws in this one, but Jaws ultimately on the side becomes a hero. Not really the true hero, but he inadvertently becomes an ally to Bond in this movie. There is Corin Dufour, who's played by Corin Cleary, who I believe was the secretary who helped Bond in the beginning of the movie. She flies Bond to Drax's estate, shows James Bond around. Her and James Bond have a thing together. James Bond uses the relationship that they have to basically get information from Drax. And Corin Dufour, I think I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on this, but I think that's her right there, I think. And, she helps out James Bond all that way, and, once again, nice, good-looking girl, pretty good actress, very fair, very good, very helpful, and, once again, very well spoken at first of Drax's policies and what he does. But when she helps out James Bond, there's a part where James Bond leaves Hugo Drax's estate, and Hugo Drax calls Corin Dufour over to him, and he says, I know you helped Mr. Bond find what he was looking for, and I'm forced to say that your services are no longer required. And what happens is Drax's first original henchmen release these. I believe they're either German shepherds or they're not bloodhounds, but pit bulls or something like that, or Dobermans. But he releases these dogs to where these dogs chase down Corin Dufour, and they basically just maul her to death. I think moments from before Corin Dufour gets to the highway to hopefully protect herself, but she gets killed by these dogs, and it is a terrible, terrible moment because you feel bad for her because it's and once again, to make Hugo Drax seem like a sick person, you just do something like that because it's if you were just working for these guys, you got fired, that's one thing, but when these guys kill you mercilessly and brutally, that's quite the big thing there. Let's see here. Returners such as let's see here. Ms. Bernard Lee is back, and it's cool to see Bernard Lee. And I'll tell you why it's exceptionally cool to see Bernard Lee in this one. This is Bernard Lee's final film before he passes away, and a lot of folks were saddened by that. And there was a thing where I think one of the stunt doubles, I think it may have been Alf Hewitt, it may have been somebody else, but they were together with Bernard Lee when he was on I think the last few nights that he was alive. And they said that one night he just stayed at the piano, played the piano when they were supposed to be at dinner, and he kept playing. And Alf Hewitt said it was almost like if it was a soliloquy that he was playing for himself, because maybe Bernard Lee knew that his time was coming, and it was just one of those odd things. But yeah, this was Bernard Lee's final performance as Moneypenny, as M. Sorry, you have Jeffrey Keane from The Spy The Spy Who Loved Me, returning as the British Prime Minister, now finally with the name Frederick Grey. Where he was a little understandable in, The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker, and I think he's also in For Your Eyes Only. He really is a bit of a jerk. He really is temperamental to Bond. He doesn't like what James Bond or the Double O's do. He gets on M's case. He really hammers it home. So yeah, Frederick Grey really is a jerk, and it's cool to see that Jeffrey Keane reprised the role too. Q is Desmond Llewellyn. He's back. Now I've only seen this film once, and I forgot what Q did for him in this one, but I think it was magnifiers and stuff like that. But once again, very cool to see Q in a role again. It's great to see Desmond Llewellyn back. Lois Maxwell's still playing Moneypenny. Great to see her, good stuff. And let's see, what else can I say about the film now that I went through all the cast there? The film is, like I said, it's very fun. It's got a lot of good moments. Oh, that's what I remembered. Q gives Bond these darts, where one dart can be used for tranquilizing agents, where you can knock somebody out if you want, and another dart could be where it hits somebody and it suffocates them and also shuts down their central nervous system, where it like shuts everything down and you're also choking to death at the same time. So like you have one of those great moments in there, and Bond actually uses that against Hugo Drax because when James Bond's chasing down Hugo Drax when the station is being destroyed by Goodhead, Bond, and Jaws, Bond catches up with Drax. Drax actually has I don't know if he has Bond's Walther PPK or if he has like a Luger or something in his hand, but he has some sort of gun. He's pointing it at Bond. He's saying, once again, Bond, once again, Bond, I've outwitted you, and your time is up. And then, I guess what the dart did is Bond can control the darts with his wrist. So when he moves his wrists like to the side and out, it fires because it's based on the wrist movement proportion of the wrist bone and muscles. So it fires, catches, I think Drax either like right here in the chest or in the neck, and he's like gasping and like like Bond launches him out into space, and he's like, I always knew that Drax wanted to go into orbit. Sorry, I know that's a bit of Connery, but yeah, something like that. But yeah, so that's what Q gave him in this one. I just remembered. So there were moments like that. The John Barry's score, and actually, I think it's John Barry who did the score in this one. Was it? Yep, music by John Barry. So John Barry did a score in this one. The Moonraker theme is pretty good. It's fun, but it's a little too slow and melodical for my taste. It's like it didn't fit what they were trying to, I think, do with the movie too well. I mean, it sort of did as a non-lyrical piece work a little better, but at the same time, it's like I think they should have chose something a bit more darker for Moonraker, personally, in my opinion. But there's this theme that John Barry creates where they're coming up to Hugo Drax's space station, where it's so good. It's like I would like to play the theme for it, but once again, I know I'd have to cite John Barry and the music and Albert R. Broccoli and Eon Productions and stuff like that. I don't really want to play it, and plus, I would rather have the soundtracks on hand and do it that way instead of finding it on my computer and playing it right from the computer source. But the theme was like dun 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 dun, like, and it'd be like that, and the tempo would really pick up. Like it would be this grandiose thing to get going to something that was really sinister coming at the characters. So that was really awesome and done by John Barry. Like great explosions, great action. I have to say that the fight scene between Hugo Drax's first henchman and Bond, when I think they were in Italy or it was France, I forget one of the two. Like I said, I apologize because I've only seen this film like twice. Like one time with my folks when I wasn't paying attention to that all too close. And then this was the second time. And like I said, I need to see these films a bit more to get more of the rundown. So don't be surprised if I redo these at some point as well. But you have this thing where that happens, all's good, and it's just an awesome fight between them. Glass breaking, swords, stuff going through walls, punches, kicks, the whole shabada. I think some of it was done by stunt doubles of Moores and stunt doubles of the other actor playing the henchman, but they also did a lot of the choreography together too. So it was a great fight scene, good stuff. Bernard Lee is in the film quite a bit, as is Frederick Gray. But like I said, Frederick Gray's jerky, so really don't care for him that much. But we do see a lot of of M. Oh, there's a part 2 in the film near the end when Holly Goodhead and Bond save the Earth, destroy all the missiles, save the day, and they're in their spaceship and they're starting to have sex. And then Frederick Gray and M they have a home on the ship, and there's this camera that they can activate on the ship. So they activate it, and they see that Bond and Holly Goodhead are making out with each other, and they're all staring at the screen, going, "What?" And M and Frederick Gray go, "What is 007 doing?" And I think it's M. M says something like this. I forgot what the actual thing he says is, but it's like, "Sir, I think he's about to enter reorbit," or he's just practicing on or he's just moving on his reentry. And it's like, it was one of the best delivered lines in any Bond film, and those ones are quite good, but it's one of the top. I definitely put it at the top. And the fact that Desmond Llewellyn as Q said it was perfect, because Q would usually do that, and it was great. And also, what I could also say with this film is it starts giving us the cameos of Michael G. Wilson, because apparently Michael G. Wilson is in a lot of these films after Moonraker, because he just recently married he recently married it was either it was Barbara Broccoli, who I think he married. So yeah, Michael G. Wilson recently married Barbara Broccoli, his Albert R. Broccoli's daughter, and he was starting to feature in cameos of this because Michael G. Wilson was already working on, I think, the previous films. I think he was involved ever since Live and Let Die, but he was sort of working his way up the ranks in the film company, and I think he was an associate producer by this point, and he was one of the traffic controllers for the space fight that was going on, so it was really cool. And once again, I have to see the other movies to see what other cameo roles that he had. I know most of them now. I know most of them by heart, but yeah, some of them I'm not too familiar with yet, and I have to even see some of the newer Bond films to get them well. But I know quite a few of them, and I'll probably try to list all that I can remember for you guys, because he did way more cameo roles than I thought he would ever do. So, but that's cool, because I think it's cool when a producer, director, or anyone cameos in their own films, and it's like, hey, it's cool because I know you can see. Well, apologies there if you hear that. I'm sort of farting at the moment. I apologize. I know I shouldn't tell you, but if you hear it, I'm not gonna lie and keep myself saying, "Oh, I never do that while I do this stuff." Yeah, not gonna be like that. But once again, this is Moonraker, and Moonraker, once again, decent film, great music by John Barry, great action, a lot of fun movements. Hugo Drax is a pretty good villain. He's still in my, top tiers. He isn't as bad or anything. Basically, one of the ones I put on the lower tiers is an Octopussy with Kamal Khan. Kamal Khan had a good plan, but I sort of didn't care that much for Kamal Khan. But it's like, yeah, but hey, we all have our different things. But either way, it's a great film, great stuff. Good moments. A lot of fun. And if there's one bad thing I could take away with Moonraker, it's just that Lewis Gilbert loves these huge dogfights in the Bond movies between the government agents and the henchmen, because in the film, like I said, you have Drax's men go out in spacesuits doing a Star Wars shootout with the men of the U.S. Army, and it's ridiculous, it's hilarious, it's fun. Yeah, I mean, I realize Lewis Gilbert loves that because there's a similar thing in You Only Live Twice. There's also the similar thing in what is it? Spy Who Loved Me. I know there's a couple other films where they do that too, but it's not in every Bond film. But sometimes it's cool, other times it's like, yeah, that's their thing. I mean, I think I've said it. I think my two favorite Bond directors, well, if I had to give you my three favorite Bond directors from that, Terrence Young is my Dark Horse favorite. The guy who started it all, Terrence Young, is my Dark Horse favorite for the films he did. But my favorites have always probably been, if I had to say, probably at the top, Guy Hamilton, because Guy Hamilton did quite a few of my favorites. Man with the Golden Gun, Goldfinger, because Goldfinger is a very interesting movie. It's not one of my top favorites, but it is an interesting movie. Live and Let Die. No, Diamonds Are Forever, which was sort of an alright one, but still a good movie, but not the best. But he did Diamonds Are Forever, so Guy Hamilton is definitely at the top. John Glenn is my number 2, and Martin Campbell, who did Goldeneye, is my number 3. So those are my 3. So once again, this is Moonraker, and it has been fun doing this for you again, guys. I definitely want to do this again come next week, or like I said, I'll try to post movie reviews every 2 weeks or so. I would say realistically, I'm going to try to post something every 2 to 3 weeks, because I'm also trying to do more of my writing. And the reason I could probably do more right now is I have more time off of work, but that's a different can of worms. And if I have time to write every week as well as post a movie review, cool. If not, I'll do something like that every other week. But yeah, I want to try to get something at least done every 2 to 3 weeks for you guys. So, I can update regularly like I was. We can have a lot of fun with it like we did before and just continue it, because, it's awesome doing this, and I love reviewing this for you today. So, yeah, this is 012 Boku bringing you Moonraker, and I will see you guys again with another movie review, alright? See you then.